Well, the politics of redevelopment is kind of like that old saw, follow the money. Always follow the money. When you have areas like downtown Sacramento that have declined, and some would say the area was a slum at one point, or certainly depressed, how do you move that into a more viable economic activity? Where redevelopment is coming out of the processes that were set in place when Roosevelt establishes the New Deal after the Depression or during the Depression. And so the idea that government is a force to make things change and happen comes out of that. And from that structure, what we had happen is there was a federal law that allowed for the creation of redevelopment projects or agencies. And they need money somehow. To get money to a redevelopment agency, that means finding a source of income. And that source of income would be, what is the difference between the taxes raised on a piece of property when it's depressed versus the taxes it's going to generate when it's rehabbed or restored? That difference between the two is something you can go to the bank with. You can go and borrow money that allows you to do your project. So that's what it's really all about. In the case of redevelopment here, the process began as a housing project. We built New Helvetia and Dos Rios, and these are down right at the close of World War II. So the housing authority is well in place. The redevelopment activities don't begin until about 1950, 51, 2, something like that. And it takes them a little while to get their act together, but they divide the area up into zones of interest. And the first target was the Capitol Mall and what we would call downtown K Street area. And the projects, it takes a long time to get those projects to happen. They're slow in developing. As they come online, though, they start to generate this flow of money, the difference between the two tax bases, and that allows them to borrow more money by bonds and do more projects. And so as a project comes online, it's a little bit like a goose that lays a golden egg. It provides the ability to go to the next project. At one point, the redevelopment agency had so much money flowing in from the project development that it was called Little City Hall. And it was the city hall that had the money that you could do something with. Over at the regular city hall, everything was committed basically to fire and police and sewer and garbage pickup and all those kinds of things. So this was, I don't want to say the fun money, but this was the money that could be allocated to do special projects. And so it had a lot of power and had a lot of power until the city began to take that back to the city eventually. Now we have an economic development department in the city that's doing some of the same things.